Weekend Beardos, welcome back to Greybeard Disc Golf. I feel like I just spoke to you moments ago, which I did because I was just filming my buzzsaw video. But if you haven't had a chance to watch the buzzsaw video yet, I hope it's already posted. I'll put a link up here. Go watch it and then come back and watch this as well. I've got a bag of goodies here today, which I'm very excited about. So I was able to get a couple of new discs that the internet has just been going nuts over. That's right. I've got Jeremy Koling's new Tempo, and I've got Eagle McMahon's Elemental Series Range. Now, I've set myself up. I'm about 210 feet from the basket. I'm not going to worry too much about measuring these throws because this should be about the right range for both of these. Again, when you're getting down into speeds around 4, 3, 2, smaller speeds, you're not really that interested in going as far as possible. You want to be able to put them where you want. And that's kind of the purpose of both of these discs. All right. So we're going to start with the Tempo, I think. The Tempo and the Range. Now, what I have to compare them with is I've got my OTB Proton Soft Tempo. And then for the Range, I have my Space Race Range. And I've also got, like what everybody else is doing, I've got a Berg as well. So in the K1 line. So let's start with the Tempo. Now, the Tempo is an interesting disc. When I first got this, just before the BC Open, I loved it. I threw it out in the field and I absolutely loved it. I put it in my bag. And when I got into the round, I absolutely hated it. So I didn't bag it after that. But let's see what we can do with it. I want to get as close as I can to that basket. I think 210 is about the range for this for me, I think. Let's put a throw on it. Let's see if these fly differently or if they fly pretty much exactly the same. I expect they're going to fly pretty much exactly the same. All right, we're going to start with the Jeremy Koling Tempo. Again, a little bit of a left to right wind. I'm going to want to kind of put it out to the right. Hopefully I don't go over like I did in the buzzsaw video into the lawn bowling club. Let's just put it out right and have it crash at the basket. Oh, a little too far to the right. Not a bad finish though, not a bad finish. Okay, Tempo. Let's go with the Proton Soft. This should fly hopefully exactly the same. Try to hit that same line. Nope, hit the different line, but flies pretty much exactly the same. Very nice. Okay. Really, really useful disc. If you don't have something like a Tempo or a Zone, it's even for amateurs, even for beginners, it's a really useful disc to have to learn how just to put something up on a high hyzer and just, work on getting that distance right. Okay, Range. Let's go with the Cosmic Neutron Range. Now this one I kind of want to just put straight at the basket with a little bit of hyzer on it, I think. Yep, pretty much exactly that. Beautiful. All right. Let's see. Now we're going to go with the Space Race Tempo. Total Eclipse. No, it's not Total Eclipse. It's just Eclipse because it's a Streamline disc. No overmold. Again, beautiful. Exactly the same. Parked. Berg. Now the Berg, people always say that the Berg is much more overstable. I'm going to try to do the same thing and we'll see how it flies. I want to try to put it on that little bit more hyzer and see if this truly is more overstable than the Range. Because I think they're completely different discs. Oh my goodness, that turned right over. That was absolutely not overstable. All right, now obviously I missed my line when I threw. I slid my front foot slid a little bit, so my line was off, but it definitely flipped up and even drifted a hair to the right. All right, let's go pick them up and have another throw. All right, let's try that again. Let's see if we can't get these both on a decent line. My target, I think, is going to be kind of halfway between the basket and that light pole, and then we should be able to just crash at the basket. The JK1 was a little bit shy, a little bit short. Yep, much better. Right on my line. Ooh, deep. It sure held fast. When you put it flat, if you compare the two throws, that first throw was on a hyzer, was up high, and it definitely crashed early. That one, when you put it flat, it held the line really, really well. That went deep. All right, let's do the same thing with the OTB. Proton soft. Yeah, flat, push, push, push. Yeah, I think those two are pretty well identical. Okay, the ranges. Wow, I really like this one. It was a little bit short. The glow one went a little bit longer, just past the basket, and this one went a little bit shorter, but sure, the line was perfect. Just a nice little flip up right at the basket. Let's see if we can't do that again. Beautiful. Oh, right in front of the basket. That was gorgeous. All right. Oh, a little bit offline, but nice and straight. And plinkoed out of the tree. All right, Berg. What are you doing to me, Berg? Okay, let's see if we can't put this on a little bit more of a hyzer and follow that same line. Yeah, there you go. Maybe a hair more finish at the very end on that Berg. Maybe that's what people were talking about. But certainly was dead straight with just a tiny bit at the end. All right, let's put those on a forehand. You know, generally as an approach disc, it's also really good to have a forehand with those approach discs. So we'll move a little bit closer and we'll try to forehand them at the target. I position myself a little bit differently. That tree that hit that the glow range hit obviously would come into play on a forehand. So kind of move myself a little bit to the left, got in a bit closer. I'm about 160 feet out now. The tree on the left shouldn't really come into play, I'm hoping. I could probably use that, at least for the tempos, as kind of an aiming point. Just kind of go inside that tree, have them drop at the basket. All right, see just how overstable they are on a forehand. Beautiful. Oh, wow. All right. Well, that worked out pretty good. That was the Jeremy Koling. All right. Proton soft. Oh, up a bit. Yeah, I messed that up. Let's try that again. That's all right, player B. Let's see if we can't do this a bit better. Nope, we cannot. Super overstable though. All right, let's try the range. We're going to start with the Cosmic Neutron range. Now, I'm not a big fan actually of forehanding these deep dish puddle top discs. I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't really like it when I played the Space Race. I threw it on a couple of forehands and screwed it up badly. So hopefully this will go a little bit better. I kind of want to keep this pretty straight, I think, pretty straight and flat. And it should hopefully not turn over on me. Maybe we'll put a little bit of hyzer on it. There we go. Nice. Very nice, very nice. All right. Eclipse range. I really like, on both of these discs, I like the thumb track for a forehand. I feel like my thumb just wants to put itself right in there, and it feels quite a bit more comfortable. Maybe gives me a bit more control. Bit of flip up. That's going to go a bit deep, I think. Yeah, I got all of that. Came out really nice. Berg, let's see what you got. A bit of flip up. Deep again. Wow. All right, beautiful flight. You know, I think that I didn't initially believe that, because I don't throw a Berg really, that the Berg and the tempo were going to, or not the Berg and the tempo, the Berg and the range were going to be very, very much alike, but they are. At least for me and for the discs that I have, all three of those discs were extremely similar. The Berg might actually have been a hair understable. One of the reasons I don't throw it is because everybody told me, oh, the Berg's overstable. It's an overstable approach disc. I'm not seeing it. I think it's just a great straight shooter. All right, let's go pick them up, and then we'll head down to Dry Creek. There's a few holes there I'd like to try with all three of these. All right, welcome to Dry Creek Park. I've got my little bag of goodies here, and we're going to be throwing, on this hole, we're going to be throwing the Tempo. This is about 195 feet. It's a fairly straightforward. You can throw down the path and just hyzer into the basket. This should be just about perfect for this hole. I normally throw a zone here, so this should be absolutely perfect. All right, let's start with the Jeremy Koling Particle Glow. A little bit of a tailwind too, so that should make things a little bit more overstable. There we go. Crash right at the basket. Oh, right at the pin. Wow, I hung that out a little bit further than I expected, but it still ended up exactly where I wanted. All right, see if we can't do the same thing with the OTB Proton Soft. A little bit lower, but pretty well perfect. Don't hit anything. Park job number 2. Love both of those discs. Hey, bud, hi. Hello. All right, and here they are, both in the bullseye. It's the OTB and the JK. Okay, here we are, hole number 10. Super simple. Throw it straight, hit the gap. Past that last tree. Nice, skip up. See if we can't get the Berg to do the same thing. Oh, down the left side, that should trickle down the hill if it made it over. Still a putt anyways. And then, last but not least, our Space Race range. Oh, let's try that again. Good line, way short, but that's okay. Hit the line that I wanted. Here we are on hole 13. This is one of my least favorite places to be. Oftentimes, someone will hit this tree to the left here, and you'll just die at the tree. So you need something overstable approach. I usually would throw a zone here, but we don't have a zone. I've got my 2 tempos. All right, let's try the big germ tempo. Let's say I'm kind of snookered behind here. Hopefully you can still see me. And I just want to kind of put it probably flat and have it flex a little bit at the basket. Nice. Now let's see if we can't get this Proton Soft a little bit further left. And that's going to fight out. That went a bit deep. Nice. Both of them worked out pretty well. That's exactly what you want out of an overstable approach, just like the Tempo. It probably doesn't fight out nearly as much as my zone does, but if you can shape it on that flat line and have it finish where you want, more's the better. All right, where do we end up? So there's both of them right there, nice and close. Both of those are pretty easy putts. I'll prove it to you. Oh, okay. The big germ. Here we are, hole 15. You've probably seen me throw this before. This is a short hole. All you got to do is hit the double mando. Right? Simple. All you got to do is hit the double mando. Just like that. Ooh, Barbasol close shave of the day. All right, Space Race range. Little glancing blow. Ooh, I'll have to check the tape. That might have gone behind the mando. Hopefully it went through, though. The mandos are a little bit offset on this hole. Finally, Mr. Berg. Oh no, missed it altogether. Well, at least I haven't missed the Mando yet on that one. So as I clean this up, I think we'll draw some conclusions about both of these discs. Where did Space Race go? Left. There it is. Let's give that a... Oh, almost. And I'll start with the range. This thing's absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love this thing. It is going straight in my bag. Got a tournament tomorrow, and in woods at Smith, and I expect to use this quite a bit. It flies exactly how I want it to fly. It flies very, very much like the Glow range, which is exactly what I wanted out of it. So now I can put the Glow range in my Glow bag, have the Cosmic Neutron for my regular bag. I think that it's really a perfect disc for just about anybody. My daughter and my wife, they could probably have one in their bag as well for those touchy approach shots. They don't have a ton of arms to it, but you don't need to. You know, as long as you can control your nose angle. And I think having that little lip there, I feel like I have more control over the nose angle with that. Normally I would throw with my thumb out, my power grip with my thumb out like that a bit. With this, I want to snug it right up to that little ring, and it's going to give me a little bit more nose down control. So absolutely, this disc is an absolute winner for sure. The Big Germ Tempo, this thing is basically the OTB Proton Soft Tempo. That might actually even be, feels maybe a little bit more stiff, so it's probably not the Proton Soft, but it is absolutely exactly the same as the regular Tempo. Would I bag it? That's the big question, you know, because I think that I could get a bit more distance out of this than maybe I would with my Zone, but it's still got that reliable finish at the end. It doesn't fly maybe as far as, say, that Buzzsaw Buzz or some of my more overstable long discs, but it's kind of that good range in and around the 200 feet range where I need to maybe turn a corner, and I don't want to have to really crank on my Zone to get it there. This thing might have a place in my bag for it as well, and this Glow, I'll film a little bit of this. I showed my wife and my daughter last night, and they both audibly gasped. It was incredible. Glow, spectacular, absolutely spectacular. Is it enough for a Glow round? I don't think so. It doesn't hold the Glow particularly long, and there's not a lot in there, but boy, does it ever look pretty. Okay, bonus hole. There are two distinct lines on hole 17 here. I'm going to throw the Tempo and the range, just one of each, just my new one. You can either put out, and what I normally throw here is I'll throw a Zone way right, way high, just have it crash through the basket, or you can just go a straight shooter at it. So I got both of those shots. Let's throw them, see what happens. Tempo first. Way high. Come on back. Skip. Oh, not quite enough. And then let's just fire straight at the basket here. If I can get the footing. Get it. Oh, there it is. Wow. Okay. You can bet that disc is going right in my bag. Thanks again. We'll see you next time here on Great Beard Disc Golf.